Can you tell us a bit about what motivated you to start Plannex?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm financial services background. I had my own financial advice firm when I was 28, and I started going to like events and stuff. Like professional development events, all this kind of stuff. And I didn't enjoy the content. I didn't enjoy the rooms I was in terms of the actual quality of the room, but also the people in the room. It was much towards this older end of the scale. The average age of a financial advisor in the UK is 58. And I was just like listening to conversations. I was like, these aren't my people. And I need to find my sort of tribe. And it was a case of, if you can't see the room, you create the room, right? And so me and my friends started this little group of financial planners that we thought were quite cool, up and coming, all this kind of thing. So I needed to grow my business, and it just arms and legs from there. It just grew really. So it started off as this little like Facebook group, and then it evolved on something called Slack, and then we started it as an actual membership where we started charging people just £15 a month to be a member, and it led to it helped me to scale my business to 4 locations and sell that 4.5 years ago now, and go into Plannex full time. So it was called Next Gen Planners. We've rebranded to Plannex over the past 6 months or so. And yeah, I mean, we've got 2,400 plus members now. So it's it's something that's just really grown arms and legs, but it was kind of needed in the market. It was it's quite a stale environment sometimes, financial services, and it just kind of needed some young upstarts to. I say young,
sure.
Got so much grey hair now. I don't know if I can put myself in that bracket, but yeah, here we are.
Well, tell us, what does the platform sort of offer? If you join the membership, what do you get?
Yeah, wicked. So private community, so it's all like app based and obviously desktop version as well. But there's like private community where people talk day in, day out. So it'll be around their challenges. It's a very collaborative profession, in that people help each other out. It's not, you keep your secrets to yourself sort of thing. You all help each other for the greater good. So there's all that. We have hundreds of hours of like content. So that can be anything from lead generation through to how to have a client meeting and all this kind of stuff. Loads of regular events on the platform, but also training. So one of the big barriers in the profession is quality exam training and to get people through exams. So we provide a load of exam training in there as well. But we've got other products now because as we've kind of grown with the audience, understood the challenges. So we've got things like a full marketing agency now. We run like a big live event every year, this massive party in Manchester to about 500 people. And it's, because it's all the things that, it's interesting when you're on that side of the fence, I guess, because it's tackling all the challenges that I had as a business owner, as a financial planner and all this kind of thing. So yeah, there we are.
Amazing. Okay, so you started your business at 20. Do you start at age 28? Your first
28
business
was when I started my financial advice business. Yeah.
Okay. And was the goal always to be an entrepreneur?
No, it's a weird word, that, isn't it? Entrepreneur. It's a bit funny one, but I guess. Yeah, I guess I was looking up the definition of it before, and I think it does kind of describe me because I've also got like a freeze-dried sweets business, and I'm just looking.
Oh, really? So much to talk about.
That is weird. Yeah. So I guess it is me.
Oh, it definitely is you.
Yeah. Do you set out to be an entrepreneur? I think one of the things for me was I think I'm relatively unemployable. I get a bit. It's just kind of, I just get frustrated by like rules and regulations and compliance and all this kind of thing that can tie people down. And it's a lot of fun doing your own thing. It's I'd rather be in control of my own destiny and that kind of stuff. And I can't imagine a world where I'm going to end up going back to employed, because I don't think anyone will have me anyway. But it's just, I find that challenge of entrepreneurship, getting something up and running. It's all good fun. I'm not a doer. I'm not somebody who's going to be, relentlessly working every hour of the day to get something done, detail man, that kind of thing. I'm very ideas and vision. I'm quite good at seeing what's going to happen 6 months ahead and that kind of thing. But the benefit I had, especially with this business, was I had a co-founder who has all the opposite skills to me.
Really? Like what?
Is invaluable. So he's uber good on detail, very much wants to get in the weeds, in the business, all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that, especially for entrepreneurs who do have a co-founder, I think that's a really big thing I've come to learn, is that
You can almost work at double the rate, can't you?
it is, but it's important that your gaps are filled by the other person.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of my shortcomings, and I'm perhaps better at some of the strategic discussions and the sales and all this kind of thing, where I'll leave the operational stuff and the other bits to him. So you just kind of bounce off each other. So that's something I'd definitely say to people. If you're going in with a co-founder, look for someone who's different to you, not the same.
Yeah. Could fill the skill gap.
Mm.
Yeah. So before you you identified this gap in the market. You said it's a bit stale. What did you really mean by that? What did you notice?
Yeah. So the average age is 58. So you look around this room, right, at this event, and you wouldn't see 16% of advisors are female. And then from an ethnicity point of view, the stats are even lower. And you kind of look around this room and it's kind of like, like in the Matrix where Agent Smith gets cloned like loads of times, like that, right? It's just like the same person in this room. And they're like, and I was just like, and then I remember overhearing a conversation while I was queuing for my bacon sandwich, and it was like two guys bragging to each other about like how much fees they'd taken on like a client case, this kind of thing. And it was just like, it's the wrong. I always say as well, like these events sometimes are like by the side of a motorway, pattern carpets. It looks like a care.
Oh, really?
Like a care home, right?
Well, a lot of them do. Yeah.
And it's like it was just no good. Like it wasn't an event I wanted to go to. And I thought, well, if more young people are going to come into the profession and that kind of thing, you've got to be enticing them with events that they want to go to and all this. So this like big annual conference we run now is like the antithesis of all that. So it's the place to be every year. So we sell the tickets, right? It's hilarious. So we sell them like a year in advance. It's sort of like Glastonbury. So nobody knows the lineup. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but they buy the tickets. And the first 100 last year went in 42 minutes, and this year they went in 19 minutes. So
wow, that is incredible.
And it's like nobody knows what they're coming to. It's a year in advance.
Yeah,
they kind of have trust in us that we're going to put on a show. So we do a big party the night before. And then we put on a load of really good content during the day.
It's like the rock performance of financial planning.
Yeah, it's good though. And I think what's been really humbling actually is that other events are up in their game, because I suppose it can sound arrogant, but I'm just proud of it, to be honest. In that I think we did change the game, and others have now got to get to where we are. So it is changing the profession. We put on speaker training for over 400 people. We put them on the stages, so there's more speakers across the profession that are that look different to the normal people that come onto stage. We've got things to say, give them the skills and the confidence to be able to deliver. And I'm really proud of the business that we've created and the impact that we've had on our profession. So long may it continue.
Yeah. Well, that very first conference must have been quite scary. Were you worried that people weren't going to turn up?
Yeah, it's terrifying. So it's like it grows every year. So I think we had about 80 at the first conference. And it was a place called Bridgewater Hall in Manchester. And then we've been to we've done a conference under a Concorde. We've done a conference in Monastery. And we've done Victoria Warehouse last year in Manchester, and
incredible.
Victoria Warehouse again next year. So we're going on to quite big venues now, because we'll have about 700 next year. And it is daunting, because you always want to get it right. I hate letting people down. I'm a terrible people pleaser, right? And I hate letting people down. And but I think what's something I've come to learn is that I understand the audience, right? So, because I was a financial advisor, I was a financial planner, and I think there's nothing better than that, in that I understand what the challenges are, because I've been there and seen it and done it. And we're kind of interacting in this community all day, every day. So we see what the challenges are, and we just build things to solve the challenges. So we have am I allowed to swear? I'm allowed to swear.
Of course. Go ahead.
I feel like I'm asking my parents. It's great. So we have a shit list, right? So we have this list of things that we don't like in the profession. And we get it out every once in a while, and we go, right, well, which one are we going at next? And that's the way we do it. You've got to do these things with a bit of fun as well. Like anyone out there who's starting a business, thinking of starting a business, whatever else, don't take it too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. You've got to have fun doing it. It's not worth it otherwise. Like, if you're not having fun, go do something else. But we love it. We turn up every day and big smiles on our faces, and we're growing the team out. And it's nice to see new fresh blood come in. Like, we hired five people last month, but like four of them, one of them's 30, the others are all under 25. And
Oh, really?
like the energy that they bring and the skills that they bring are just incredible. Like, absolutely love it. So yeah,
Injecting some energy into the world of finance, I suppose.
yeah, it is. Yeah, they're absolutely wicked. So yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the rebrand. Now, what was the decision behind it, and how did you know that it was the right time to do it?
That's a good question. So we were originally called Next Gen Planners, and a lot of people associate the term next gen with like kids, basically, or trainees and that kind of thing. And what had happened is the stuff that we'd put out was good. People would, come into the community. It was growing, all this kind of thing, but they're quite, proper serious businesses. And I think the amount of times I had to answer someone's question along the lines of, "Oh, next gen, we just thought it was for kids," or, "Oh, we didn't realize that you guys did that," because of the name. And we were like a bit bored of defending that, but also like we brought an investor in the end of last year, and he made us stand up with this whiteboard and present to him all the things that we sell. And we were selling like 14 things, and it was like just getting so convoluted and stuff. We were like, we need to narrow it down. We narrowed it down to 4 things now. But part of that was an opportunity to go, right, it's easier to point in a direction if we've just got one word brand and to go this. So Plannex is obviously like a bit of a mixture of next gen planners, Plannex.
Yeah.
But just we think it kind of moves it away from it being like kids and
aimed at kids and more sort of aimed at adults
growing up.
Yeah.
But the other thing I said to the team beforehand, I went, nobody cares. I went, this is the thing, right? When people rebrand and when people rename and stuff like this, they make such a big deal out of it. But really, nobody cares. Like, if a brand that you love changes its name, you're like,
you don't care. Yeah,
that's right. They've just changed their name.
You think about it once, then you move on. Yeah,
I just said like we have to get over ourselves here. Like that. Like, we just do it and we move on. It's not like, oh, how's it going to be perceived sort of thing. But we just do it and move on. And we did.
Yeah. Was there any process of sort of validating the idea before you launched? Because I imagine like building a community is a really hard thing to do. It's quite hard to get a set amount of people's money every month as a fee. Did you validate that there was a market there before you launched into it?
We did, yeah. So because we built like the free group, so we built like a Facebook group that had like 500 on, and then had 500 on within a month.
Oh, really?
And then it just sort of grew into thousands and stuff. And then we moved that onto Slack. And then suddenly we were like providing loads of content, doing all this, like local events, stuff like this. And we found a couple of sponsors as well who come in. And the good thing about working in finance is you're not short of sponsorship money with people. There are firms out there who've got a lot of money who are happy to back initiatives and things like this. And we sort of realized that actually people are getting a lot of value from this, and people will always pay for value. And we thought if we keep it at a level where like £15 is a great amount, because it's kind of what people are used to paying. So it's like your Netflix, your Spotify, your whatever else you pay around that price. And it's like, it's a nice entry point for people. We have like memberships now, like other memberships that are more money and stuff like that, more like business memberships and all this. But it was just that nice entry point. And I think as long as you're providing value to people, then people will pay for it. But it's all about you. So that's what we just relentlessly did. We were like, right, what's the value? What's the value? What's the value?
Interesting. Yeah. Out of those 500 on Facebook, how many were actually converted to paid members when you properly launched?
Right. My memory's horrendous at the best of times. There's absolutely no way I can remember the answer to that.
But was it like a lot of them? Like, not exact amount.
Yeah,
a lot of them did.
It was, to be fair. We were pleasantly surprised. But something I will say to anybody who's doing that kind of thing is pick your platform carefully. Like re-platforming. So we went from Slack to something called Mighty Networks, which is what we're on now, which is what we run the app on and all this.
All right. Okay.
Mighty Networks is great. It's absolutely brilliant, to be fair. It's really good. But moving a whole paid membership from Slack across to a new platform, that is painful. Like having to get, as many times you can email people saying, here are your new logins, here's what, some come with you, some don't. Like choose your platform so carefully at the start and get it right. Replatforming is a bit of a
pain, an absolute pain. How do you go from 500 to 2,500? I think you said that, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2,400.
That,
yeah.
I mean, that is an incredible amount of people.
Yeah, cheers. It's, I like, we provide a lot of value for 15 quid a month. There is a lot there. So
like, to get the actual word out, are you advertising, like doing Facebook ads? Are you going to a lot of events?
We dabbled with a few Google ads this year, but we never spent money on advertisement, never done it. We just, like, word of mouth is massive for us. We get a lot of word of mouth. We had something really interesting happen there. So we provide the training for people who are coming into the profession, doing their first lot of exams, that kind of thing. And we had a big bump in membership this year. We're adding about 100 a month at the moment, like we are flying.
Yeah.
But we had like this like influx, and we were like, what's going on here? We're like, so we always ask the question, where did you hear about us? And the best answer to that question, by the way, is everywhere, because that means you're doing marketing right. Like, oh, I heard you on this podcast, or I saw you on this thing, or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
But loads of people said Reddit, and we were like, what?
I've heard about Reddit being quite good. There's one company I was looking at, and he said he just started posting Reddit, saying, I'm creating this community, creating this blah, 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 blah. And suddenly he was getting loads of members sign up. I've never ever thought of Reddit as a means of doing that.
It's like, we were like, what? And apparently there's a thread on Reddit, which is how to become a financial advisor or something like that. And everyone recommends us for the training because we're the lowest cost out there, the highest quality, all this kind of thing. Right. And so we just got this influx. So we get people, career changers all the time, joining via this Reddit thread. Because people have recommended us. And when you're like, you could spend all the money in the world on any marketing, but it's
Reddit. Reddit's the answer.
It costs you nothing. The people are doing it for us. So now we're diving into all the Reddit, and we go, well, should we have an account on there? Should we be doing this? Should we be? So we've got all that to figure out now. But
it's always the unexpected ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wild. It has generally just been word of mouth. I do a lot of stuff with, like, I have press contacts and I get asked to talk at stuff and whatever else, and you just go out and just be kind of visible. I always say there's this thing that's really fashionable for business owners to say, which is get good at saying no, right? Which in your early years is complete bollocks. Honestly, like, it's something that people who've already made it say because they can afford to say it. Right?
Yeah, sure.
And they're doing it from a position of millions of pounds in the bank and all that kind of thing. Now, at the start, and when you're building a business, it's about being as visible as possible. It's about getting out there. It's about saying yes to everything. It's about all this kind of stuff. And I've always been relentless at that. I'm always like, right, activity, let's go say yes. We're still building. And then one day I'll get to say no to someone, but I'm a people pleaser, so I feel bad. So I'll probably just say yes anyway.
Yeah.
When sort of, you said you brought in, was it 5 people last month?
Yeah.
Now, how do you maintain the culture, and how do you make sure it doesn't sort of dilute as you bring more people into the company?
Oh, these are good questions, Harrison. It's tough. So we're learning. Look, we aren't a big business, right? When I say we brought in 5 people last month, that took us up to 13. We're not a big operation. We've been eat for a few years, and then we've just been kind of getting our shit together to really go for it. So it's a challenge. It's we have quarterly team meetings in person, where we do this thing where we spin a wheel, and whoever it lands on we go to their town for the next quarterly team meeting, but they've got to organise then the activity, which we spin a wheel on. Then they've got to organise the food, which we spin a wheel on. It's pretty good. So we do that to, like, keep the culture going, to see everybody's hometowns and all this kind of thing. Yeah. Everybody's dotted around.
That's a great idea.
We keep in touch via Teams and all this kind of stuff, but it is tough. I think we're just really clear on, the things that we stand for, and that we want to make a dent, and that we want to, change it up a bit and keep it fresh and all this. And the team buy into that, especially with all, like, the young blood that we brought in. Like, they're just, like, the attitude's incredible. We had over 1,000 people apply for one role. And then we ended up hiring 4 people because the applicants were so good. Like, they were so good, we couldn't say no to them. We're in a pretty cool place. It's that is going to be a challenge though. I'm interested if we had a chat in 3 months' time what that looks like.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You can come back.
We can visit that back, see what happened. I want to talk about that 1,000 people down to 4. Now, can you talk us through like the initial process? So what is the first thing where you wipe loads of people out, and then sort of what do you keep looking for at each, so to speak, stage?
Okay. So first thing, we don't look at a CV till we get to interview. So we're not bothered about CVs. The job that was for was a growth marketing assistant, right? So we have like we have an in-house agency that does like marketing for people. So like socials and podcasts and all this kind of stuff, right? So we needed somebody who's got good like video editing skills, social skills, all this kind of stuff. So we asked them to apply for it. And then we asked them to, we always ask people to do a, like either a task or like a short video of themselves or stuff like that for a role. So there was one we had, which was like a customer manager thing. We needed people to do a 2-minute video of themselves, introducing themselves, whatever else. We would look at that video, right? For that one, we had 80 odd applicants. No, sorry, 80 odd people sent in videos. We asked them for that one to do a CV, a cover letter. There were 3 things: CV, cover letter, and the 2-minute video. 3 people followed the process.
Really? So that's instantly knocked out everyone else.
Some people sent 5-minute videos. Some people sent 30-second ones. Some people didn't send a cover letter. So instantly, like if you can't follow a process, then what's that saying about you? So for that 1,000, we asked them to do a task, which was, here's a video. Can you edit it? Like show us your skills, right? Yeah. Immediately, that whistles everybody down because we got, I think it was about 30 or 40 that went down from 1,000 to 30 or 40 because again, it's the ones who can be bothered, right? We said, we aren't asking for free labor here. This isn't video we're going to use. This is just you showing us the skills, right? We had a couple of narky replies. Like one guy went, no chance. Good luck with that. And it's like, well, all right.
Don't apply.
You're not going to job, but like, that's you, mate. And then the video, then we got that down to, I think it was 7. And then we interviewed, and then we looked at CVs for those 7.
Okay.
And took them into an interview. I'm a big believer. So there was a bit of the skills test there, but then from that point, it's about attitude and like, a lot of skills can be taught. That is the nature of skills. Skills can be taught, right?
Yeah.
But attitude is just the one for me. Like somebody who you can give something to someone and they're not going to come back 2 minutes later and go, I don't know how to do it. Like they will spend time trying to work out how to do it and have a go at it, and are not afraid to speak up. Or like the thing with a small business and any like is like you have to muck in, like you have to do stuff that perhaps you don't. Like I've spent the last 3 days basically as IT tech support, right? I've got no idea what I'm doing, but we did a launch of some training stuff on Monday that all worked in a sandbox environment and then didn't work when we pressed it live. And we've got staff holidays, and I've been like, I'm just trying to work it out. And it is not like you're not always going to be able to do the stuff that you want to do. Part of working a small business is you just got to muck in and go for it.
Yeah.
So it's being prepared to do that as well.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. The next thing would be, okay, so you have the role. Now, I don't think we've ever asked this on the podcast, actually. How do you decide how much you pay them? Like the yearly, wage, where does that come from?
A bit of market research.
Yeah.
So, probably using ChatGPT, to be fair.
How much the average person gets paid for X? Yeah,
a bit of that, but also like in terms of like the value that they're creating. So you're kind of like, well, because we're not, it's not slave. Like I'm not interested in running a business that's on slave labor and minimum wage and all this kind of stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't take the piss out of anybody. Like just you want people to be paid well because then they put it in for you as well. Like you get it back in spades. So we were very upfront about, I can't remember exactly what the salaries were, but like we were upfront about it. It's not one of those where you go, oh, get through the process and we'll tell you what it'll be.
And then
It's like, just be upfront about it. Like, this is what it is. But yeah, just a bit of market research really.
Sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned ChatGPT there. So I want to talk a bit about AI in the financial planning world. Is it a big disrupting force?
Yeah, massively so. It's interesting. I think the uses of it, the use case at the moment are to do a lot of the legwork. So to do a lot of the ugly jobs behind the scenes, report writing, meeting notes, all this kind of stuff. Will we get to a point where there's a full on AI financial advisors for that? Yeah, we will at some point.
Okay.
Will people use that? Some will, but I think what people don't realize about financial planning is just how personal those relationships are. So, I used to look after about 80 families, and I knew all their kids, I knew their
Yeah,
pets'
very
names.
interesting. Yeah.
You
Which
don't
AI
need
just
the
can't do.
insides of their
Yeah.
lives and all this, and you have that kind of emotional attachment and stuff like that, which AI can't replicate. So the ones who have really high quality personal relationships will be absolutely fine. The ones that are very transactional, it may differ.
Yeah, we did speak to a financial planner, and she said that was the best bit about our job. Actually, was the relationships with people. It's a very people-based job,
It's
isn't it?
one bit I miss from doing it is all the client meetings, is seeing all my clients. They all become like family and
And
friends.
seeing them progress and
It's
knowing that
amazing.
you're helping them.
Yeah, like you're literally helping them retire or pass on some money to their kids to buy a house, and then the next time you go and see them, they're like, "Look at my daughter's house," or whatever. You're like, like
well, it must
you
be
made
amazing.
that. It's cool. It's a really really good job. And it's I do miss it at times. So
yeah, I suppose if you built that, they're just not going to throw you away to a machine if you built that relationship, are they?
no.
So yeah,
No.
have you incorporated AI into your into Plannex at all?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, so we've just built like an app for exam questions for people, so to do like mock tests and stuff like that. And at the end of that, there's a call out to some OpenAI stuff to give them like instant analysis on which syllabus areas they're weak on and strong on and all this kind of stuff. We use, we have ChatGPT business teams thing, so we all use that, which is, ChatGPT has just been a revelation, to be honest. It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? It's so good. You properly learn how to use it. But we brought in an AI expert, and we run a course called AI for non-techies for all the financial planning community.
Okay.
So they basically go onto this course to learn right from the start through to like advanced prompting and all this other stuff. And that's gone down so well, because like with anything, it's all new into everybody's world, and you got to get the grounding on it and get to know it, because it isn't going away, is it?
Yeah, you've got to incorporate it, otherwise you'll be left behind, I suppose.
Yeah.
So just to start to wrap up the conversation, what's been one of the biggest challenges that you've faced building this particular company?
Right. One thing to get used to, actually. So I used to do all right money wise. I wasn't short of money when I was working. It was all right. It takes a while to get back to that level, to get to where you're on some good money and that kind of thing, because you're just constantly reinvesting. And we sort of bootstrapped most of the operation until we did like a mini crowdfund to our members. So our members actually own 5% of the business, which is quite cool.
Okay.
So they invested like $250,000 about, when was that, 3 years ago now? Yeah, just under 3 years ago. And like, so that was incredible, because we wanted them to come on the journey with us. We want them to be rewarded at the end when we do exit at some point. And yeah, so there is that getting used to having a bit of a pay cut. I always think when you start something is what's going to happen, but you're building it because you're building an asset. So we get paid enough now, but we don't get paid mega money by any stretch. But we get paid enough to keep roof over head and families alive and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Feed the kids. I'd definitely say that's something to watch out for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you could go back to give one line of advice to a 20-year-old self, what would that one line be?
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, do you know what? No, do you know what it would actually be? It would have been travel more. So I've been 67 countries, I think it is, and I did 6 months around the world and all this kind of stuff. And I wish I'd done more. actually. I wish I'd done more traveling when I was, I've got, between me and my fiance, we've got 4 kids now, so we aren't traveling anywhere anytime soon.
Difficult, yeah.
Travel dreams gone.
It's, yeah. I would have, while I didn't have family and all that, I'd have travelled more. I'd have done all that a lot more. But I have no regrets of that. I've always been a risk taker. I've always been somebody that jumps. I jumped at 28. I was on 6 figures plus and jumped to nothing. No clients, nothing. Working at my back bedroom, starting a business, and I've always been a risk taker. And life is too short. And that's one of the things you often saw with clients. Actually, is clients get ill and pass away and all these kind of things, and it does teach you that life is very short. And you just take some risks. Honestly, I always go into these things with what's the worst that can happen, right? And I'm pretty confident that I've got a big, lovely family. I've got a great friendship group, all that. I'm genuinely trying to think of a way that I could piss off every single person so that I would never have a roof over my head. Like someone would put me up. You know what I mean? What's the worst that can happen with this stuff? If you lose everything, whatever, you'll have a roof over your head. Somebody will work it out for you. Somebody will look after you. And I just think, you should take some risks. Things will work, things won't work. So we've had stuff that doesn't work, and that's fine. It's okay. It's just to learn.
Start again.
But I always go into everything with what's the worst that could happen.
Yeah. Do you think taking risks is almost more important than working hard when it comes to building a business?
I know people who've worked so hard at something who have, gone into the finest, will not launch anything till it's perfect. This training thing this week actually is exact example of this, right? We knew it wasn't ready, but we launched it anyway, because when you get it out and you get it into the environment, people say that doesn't work, that's when you fix it, and that's when it becomes good. If we'd have waited another month, we'd have lost out on various bits. Just get it out there. And you just got to take some risks. It's if anybody's listening or watching or whatever and thinking about doing this and taking a jump, take it honestly. It's what is the worst that can happen?
Amazing. One final question: where do you see Plannex going in, say, 5 years' time?
I don't know. I mean, am I going to be as wealthy as Elon Musk? Am I?
Hopefully, touch wood.
No, 5 years time. So we're not right. This is an interesting one as well. We're not massive on that. I'm certainly not on 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and all that.
Yeah.
I'd say the reason why is that things change so quickly.
Interesting.
Plans, plans. The thing I always used to give clients, right, when I was doing a financial plan with them, the one thing I'd always say to them is, as soon as I walk out of this room, that plan is wrong. You can have all these lines, it will go in this direction. You can't predict that. The one thing it is wrong. It's a working document, and we kind of never really work more than 1 year ahead. If I was to say, where's the business in 5 years, I think I'll have probably exited. I'm upfront, I can say that. I think I will have probably exited at some point, but that's just the ADHD-ness of me and wanting to do things and have other businesses and entrepreneurship and all this kind of stuff. Where would that business be? I hope it's in a really similar position, to be honest. So I think that we are a fairly revered business within our profession. I think people look up to us, and I think we're making a change in our profession. And as long as we're doing those things, I'm pretty happy.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming on the show today and sparing your time. It's been really, really interesting to hear your insights.
You're more than welcome, lads. Great to see you.
Thanks a lot. We hope you enjoyed listening to another episode of In the Business, and we hope you enjoyed our chat with Rohan today. Tell me what you thought of that episode.
I think it is very similar to what we're doing, but on the financial end of things. Creating the community of younger people, sort of youngifying it, and really, that place where everything's there.
Youngifying is now a word.
We've made it a word. I think that made sense. It
didn't exist before this podcast,
no,
but now
I've
it does.
Created it.
Yeah.
I've created the word.
Yeah, his community was very niche, so I think that's important if you're building a community-based business. Find a niche. He's not saying this is open to everyone who's interested in finance. No, it's financial planners who want to develop there. It's just for them.
Yeah, I'll take that a step further as well. Sam Altman, the founder / CEO of OpenAI, he did a talk. I found it on YouTube at some point, and he said basically the best companies start off the smallest, as in they're the most niche thing. For example, Amazon, a bookstore. They used to sell books online because no one else did that at the time. And I think that not just community, but I think everything across the board, if you can really dial down to something niche, some really niche problem that someone has, master that, deliver the most value you can, and then expand from there. I think that's the best way of growing a company.
100%.
From what I've understood, the people we've talked to and the online content I've consumed, I'd say that's the best sort of lesson.
No,
one
definitely.
could take.
We also got the classic advice: just do it, which I think
Just
people
do it.
forget. No, but people do forget that. Just,
Yeah, 100%.
Just do the
yeah.
conference, launch the community.
Just do the event.
Yeah, don't stop. Obviously, think about it, plan it out, but don't hang on to
Yeah,
it
don't
for
just
ages.
launch it for nothing.
But don't just
Yeah, don't
be
dwell
scared
on
of
it.
these things. Take a risk, and because
Yeah,
you never know what
100%.
the risk might.
Well, you never know
what
where
you
it will
reap.
go. You
Yeah.
never know what will happen.
Yeah.
And if you never take that risk, it's a what if.
It's
And you
always
don't want what ifs, do
You'll be
you?
80 thinking, what if?
What if I did that?
Yeah.
What if I did this? You
Anyway.
want to be doing, well, I did that, it failed, but I learned this.
Yeah,
Or you
100%.
did that and it worked.
I think we should interview you
That's
next, mate, for your advice. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed that
anyway.
episode as
Thank
much
you
as
for
we did.
listening. Yeah, that was a good one.
Subscribe, like, comment.
Subscribe, comment. We just did the same thing twice. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Leave
See
us
you
a
next
review, most importantly. We want to hear your feedback.
Of course. We want to hear what you like about us, what you don't like about not just us. I
Not
mean
me,
the podcast as well. Anything
Anyway.
though, even if it's us, like if we say something, if we say similar questions you don't like, if we say similar questions you do like,
let us
obviously
know.
tell us because we want to improve.
See you next time.
Bye!